Hi folks, Brendan from Bestcraftbeer. Once again shooting in lockdown without my usual partner in crime, Rollcast. Today we have RHBC, that's Richmond Hills out of PE, Lion's Tooth Saison. So Saison, you actually don't see a hell of a lot of them in the South African market at the moment. There have been some really good ones made in the past. So really excited to tackle Niall from RHBC's version or interpretation. Before I get stuck into it, let's hear from Niall on Lion's Tooth and what it's all about.
Hey guys, how's it going? I've got Lion's Tooth here for you to try. It's a beer that we brewed in collaboration with Kindred Kitchen. Kindred Kitchen is a vegan restaurant based in Port Elizabeth. I really have always enjoyed what they are doing, and it was a matter of time until we were going to be doing a collab with them. For this beer, we decided to use a style of a Saison, which is quite an earthy beer. I spent some time with them in their restaurant, and we started seeing a lot of teas that they were using with their food, and thought it would be a really good idea to try and incorporate those type of teas with the beer. So got a Saison. We then looked at some dandelion tea, hence the name Lion's Tooth. Lion's Tooth is another name for dandelion. We essentially made an extraction with this dandelion tea and added it to the Saison after fermentation. What that has done is given this nice complex, grassy, almost hay-like aroma and flavor to the beer, which complements the style quite nicely. The style itself gives you a lot of your spicy character, a little bit of citrus. We've added orange peel as well to accentuate that citrus. And then also you've got that bit of banana coming through from the yeast. It's actually quite a high alcohol beer, 5.8%, but it's very crisp, very easy drinking, very, very sessionable, even though it's at that high alcohol content. What I really like about this beer is the fact that we've made a point to serve it with the herb thyme. The reason being, when you've taken a little bit of thyme and you put it into the beer, once you've poured it, it really works well with all the different flavors that the beer is representing, and it just changes the whole flavor of the beer and just takes it to another level. So yeah, please, when you try this beer, take a little bit of time, add it to it. I promise you it's going to make a big difference. But yeah, enjoy. Cheers. Okay,
so Saison, what is a Saison? Well, it's a Belgian farmhouse style of beer. Saison translates as season. The idea was that they were seasonal brews, something that was produced by farm laborers in the sort of fallow months and drunk, as hydration. Often, quite low alcohol beers, apparently, just digging into sort of stylistic history. But a Saison is such an open style. The one interpretations in terms of color and alcohol range, it's really open. And I guess traditionally it would have been brewed with potentially herbs and spices. This particular expression uses Lion's Tooth, otherwise known as pear bed, face block, or dandelion. So really interesting. I don't know too much about that herb, but it's a collaboration between experimental brewers and plant-based foodies. So a collaboration here between RHBC and Kindred. So yeah, really interested to know more about this beer and taste it. Alcohol 5.8% ABV. Ingredients quite traditional: Pilsner malt, wheat malt, a little bit of Munich, got a French Saison, yeast, and the adjuncts are orange peel and dandelion tea. So fantastic. So what characterizes a Saison? Typically you're looking at dry, refreshing, often quite highly carbonated beers. And also expressing that sort of signature Belgian yeast spiciness, sometimes phenolic, sometimes fruity and estery. So the phenols are often lean towards a coriander seed, and fruity esters can be sort of orange peel type esters, or or kind of citrusy flavors, but often like, you know, one of the most complex of pale, refreshing style beers. So often in the ratings databases, the global ratings databases, one of the few sort of light beers, if you like, that can make it up at the top there of the sort of beer nerd ratings, just because of the level of complexity that Saisons can deliver, and the versatility, I suppose. But that's actually got a really wonderful color. It's kind of it's hazy, which you would expect from an unfiltered Saison using wheat malt. Sometimes Saison yeast can be, you know, stay in suspension, similar to Weiss yeasts, but a really lovely color. It's like a, you know, there's a light gold, there's a bit of a sort of orange hue. It looks flavoursome, it looks estery and lip smacking. So yeah, just a really nice beer to pour and look at. Let's get it on the nose. Yeah, I'm getting some of that sort of Belgian yeast phenolics, not strong, quite muted, which I quite like. I don't like the super phenolic yeasts. There's a whole range of Saison yeasts that are out there. I'm getting some citrus peel. I'm not sure if that's from the adjunct or just hops or the yeast, or possibly a combination of all of those. Really inviting, quite subtle, definitely got that stylistic integrity there, that sort of Saison Belgian-like smell. Okay, let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, quite punchy Saison phenolics. It'll, you know, definitely I getting that sort of coriander seed flavor. Definitely some fruit esters and citrus notes there. It's good. It reminds me a little bit of Saison de Pont, actually, which is a great compliment. It's the sort of archetypal Saison, if you like, out of the French-Belgian region. It's difficult for me to isolate the dandelion tea flavor. I mean, if I didn't know anything about the use of adjuncts, I would have just said this is a really good sort of typical Saison flavor experience here. There's a lot going on: spicy, refreshing, fruity, dry sort of finish. Not super highly carbonated, which I like. I mean, even though stylistically Saisons often are carbonated, you know, I just find it a beer more drinkable on that moderate carbonation level. Oh, really good Saison. You know, if you're into Saisons, you got to give it a go. It's a really good expression. Kind of beer that would perform really well in the competition, in the BJCP style competition, just because it's hitting all those Saison notes for me. Yeah, a great beer to have with food, because it complements so much. You know, the dryness and some of the fruit esters and the carbonation can cut through a lot of rich foods, but it can also complement lighter dishes. So yeah, just a really versatile beer to pair with cheeses, white meats, salads, all sorts, curries. Well, I'm going to tune out and savor this at my leisure, but an absolutely cracking Saison. If you're into Saisons or Belgian style beers, definitely give it a go. It's a thumbs up from me. Cheers.